We have 5 colors for you. The blue right here is called the blue. Here is our silver. Do you see, though, what I'm saying here? It's totally a mesh. You're not feeling that fishnet. It's going to breathe beautifully, feel like just the most comfortable walking shoe, but look at the pizzazz, look at the personality. Even right here, oh, just gorgeous. Okay, so that's the silver. They kind of just keep getting better and better. You really can't go wrong with any color. This is the white, it's called Cream Online. Love this, you'll even see the little bit of sparkle right here. This is our more nude color. It's called Almond. I think online it looked a little pinky, but it really is a true nude in person. And then last we have our black. We have sizes 5.5 to 10, whole and halves, plus 11 and 12. And these ones come in medium and wide widths. So truly everyone is invited to the party, including Casey Carr. Thank you so much for being here.
So happy to
you're
be
wearing them.
I am.
You're wearing them. Okay, these are so cool.
I don't miss an opportunity to wear these. They are so comfortable. They are so fun, right? These are not your private school penny loafers, by the way.
They're not, but some people love the sophistication and just the wearability of a loafer.
Yes.
So I love that you have that comfort, all the comfort details, but with so much personality.
Right, so on paper, you're like, a loafer and a sneaker, how is that gonna work out?
Right.
But it's Kenneth Cole, right? So you know it will, and you know it's gonna be done so well. So what we have here is something that's so fun and customer favorite. You know why? Because it has our Easy On technology. People love anything that has Easy On, and what that means is there is a built-in shoehorn here, right in the back, that looks like just this beautiful contoured design to flatter the heel, is actually a built-in shoehorn, nice and structured, so you can step into it. Do you see how it flares out just a little bit at the top?
That is so convenient.
You can step into it, and I know what you're thinking. Okay, so it's a shoehorn. How incredibly uncomfortable is that gonna be on my heel? Well, it's not, and here's why. Because you have these little like angel wing pillow, squishy gel pads in the back that really cradle and embrace the Achilles right in that tender spot where you find a lot of times a shoe rubs, especially when you first get it.
Yes.
No break-in period here. So you have the Easy On technology that allows you to step in and step out, countered by all of this comfort on the inside. And you don't have the comfort just in the heel. You have it all the way throughout the footbed. So where you step, all of your pressure points, heel, toe, and in that arch area, so comfortable. And that's because there's a little hidden layer under this beautiful sparkle of foam. So you have all day wear, all day style, and it's Kenneth Cole. So how fun is this?
These are so smart. We don't sometimes realize just how much the ease of putting on a shoe ends up coming into play with which shoes we choose to wear each day.
Absolutely.
If you can do it without having to sit down, lean over to get your foot in and out of it, you're going to wear the shoe more often, and it's why we so often will go for the sandals or go for the slip-in mules, even if they're not the most supportive, even if they're not the safest to walk in, even if they're not the most appropriate for the occasion, purely because they were that easy to get on.
Oh my gosh, you nailed every point.
And I'm guilty of it. My mother's guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. That is why the Easy On has really taken the world by storm. They guide your foot in. You're not messing up the back of the shoe by doing it this way. It's meant to take your weight. It's meant to take the beating of guiding your foot in without using your hands. It's supposed to. It has that rigidity on purpose. So don't be afraid that you're messing up the shoe by really trying to put your foot in there. This is what it's made for. Those gel cushions that you're seeing at the back right now, and what size are these? Are those an 8? Are you an 8 or a 9 in the black? A 9? You don't see the gel cushions when they're on, you would never know, but they're so comfortable. I was shocked when I first put on in a sneaker with this gel. It's like, how come every shoe doesn't have these?
I know, right?
Maybe we can show with the camera the little pillows we're talking about. When you bring your foot in, I know that you mentioned them, these are these pillows. They're gonna be in the back of this rigid shoe. This is why you'll slide into it every time. Your foot will be thanking you for it. And then all of the additional cuteness that I love. And remember, this is a thinner, finer mesh within it. It's not just the fishnet that's touching you. You're gonna have more of a screened in mesh there that's actually along the foot. So you are getting that foot coverage. No one's gonna be seeing too many details of your feet. Your feet won't be poking out the fishnet. but there's a breathability that you wouldn't find in an everyday loafer. You have a wonderfully supportive sole here. Remember, we have medium and wide widths available in these sizes, so maybe that's been kind of keeping you from grabbing a new loafer this season, as it didn't have the right width, although the wide widths will usually sell out fast, so if that's you, I'd move quicker. But this is the silver, and it is our most limited, and boy, does it look cute on you.
Thank
It
you.
really, what size shoe are you?
I'm a 7. I
Okay.
am true to size in Kenneth Cole, but you have whole and half size
Yep.
options and medium and wide width, which I love so much. So many of our designs have that medium and wide width option, which is so great because it really gives the illusion that this shoe was created for your foot and your foot alone.
Yeah.
The contour is so beautiful on these, and I love that you pointed out, like, why don't all shoes have this? And it's one of those things where you're going, yeah, how did I not come up with this first? A built-in shoehorn to make it easy to get on and off.
Yes.
Because you're right, nothing starts your day off worse than fighting over your shoes, having to tie it, because that always results in me spilling my coffee, which never bodes well for the rest of my day. But it does make it so easy. And like you said, it is structured. It's constructed in a way that you can do that over and over and over again. And you know how I know this? Because I have done it over and over and over again. And sometimes when you step into a shoe, the back of it curls over, right? And then you're fighting over adjusting the back of it and fixing that padding. You don't have that problem. And part of that is because of the contour, the way it kind of extends out from the ankle, which is so beautiful. But it's also because of that soft material. Your foot really just slides right in. And once it's inside, it is cradled, it is comfortable, and it feels incredible. On top of it, everything is breathable. You're probably not going to be wearing a sock with this shoe because we talked about a little bit of the sheerness here, but you don't have to worry about your foot getting uncomfortable and sweaty and sticky and stinky. It's breathable all the way from toe to heel. And yeah, you pointed out that beautiful mesh, which I love it as a design feature. And it's also functional. So you have the cool rhinestones on the outside, you have the sparkle, but you don't feel it on the inside. So you have the design feature on the outside without any sort of discomfort on the inside. You just have the mesh, you don't feel even the fishnet like you talked about. So you have a combination of different things here. You have the stones, you have the glitter, you have the really cool athletic looking bottom, and some of the soles match, some are a gum sole on the bottom. But you have that safety, that traction. So you have the loafer, which is typically a flat bottom, right? A lot of times, I remember, because I was in private school, skidding across the ground because it was a flat, glossy bottom. So you have that look on the top of the loafer, but you have the safety and the fashion of the traction on the outsole of the sneaker bottom.
I'm kind of loving the cream right now because it really reads almost like a two-tone. You don't immediately think that you're seeing through the shoe. It looks like it's two different shades of tan there. And it is pretty sophisticated, but it's just allowing your foot to breathe so lovely. Now, this is the nude that we were showing, and maybe you can see here, lovely on this. Now, what is this exact part? Is this a trim? Would you call this a trim here? It's where you have that additional little shine?
Trim, or like a rand that goes all the way around. And you see a rand a lot of times on a Kenneth Cole in the back as a design feature, but this one goes all the way around, and it just gives that extra little pizzazz with the glitter. But that one on the almond is almost like a rose gold. It's really beautiful in person.
It is, and I love here, you have the vegan leather with that whip stitching just to add all of those fun little extra design elements. But you mentioned the tread. Here's your tread. You're getting a walking shoe tread with the look and wearability of a loafer, the slide-in of a mule, which again, we wear the wrong shoes almost all the time because they're easier to put on. This is solving that problem.
And we swear we're never gonna do it again. Every time I'm putting Band-Aids on my ankles and the back of my heels, I go, I'm not doing this again.
I'm not
refuse.
doing this again.
Fashion will never surmount comfort, and it does. And I'm getting better because now we have options. And I love the black for a couple of reasons too. One, it's monochromatic, but it still has that little bit of sparkle, so it's really great for people in the service industry. And it's lightweight. A lot of times when you have a sneaker, it's blocky, it's chunky, but you have light, you have flexible, and you have style.
Oh, speaking of having style, I'm about to put these sunglasses on. Would you like to put one on?
Yes.
Would you like to wear red or black?
I'm doing red.
Okay, we have some cat eye sunglasses. By the way, we're moving